You've probably heard it a million times. Newer is always better, right? We assume our gadgets are tougher, smarter, and more durable. Compared to clunky tech of the past, it's a myth we've all bought into. Devices are practically invincible. But what if a relic from the 1980s could beat a modern player? Walkman versus modern Bluetooth, that's what we're testing. No theories, just real-world challenges. We're pushing these devices to their limits. Drop tests, spill tests, marathon listening sessions. The goal, see which one gives up the ghost. Forget what you think you know. We're getting real data. This isn't just nostalgia. It's about what we gain and lose with modern tech. New gadgets have features, but at what cost? Build quality, battery life, repairability, sound itself. A showdown beyond the spec sheet. We're gonna break some stuff for science. Battle of the ages, Walkman shock test. First, let's meet our two fighters. In the vintage corner, we have a classic Sony Walkman. In the modern corner, we have a sleek, minimalist Bluetooth audio player. This specific model is a workhorse from the late 80s, powered by two simple AA batteries. It's a mechanical marvel, gears, belts, and a satisfyingly chunky plastic shell. Its job is simple: spin a cassette tape and push sound through a headphone jack. You can feel the moving parts inside, a tactile connection to the music that's largely been lost today. It's tiny, lightweight, and features no moving parts. All the music is stored on internal flash memory. It charges via a USB-C port, powering an internal, non-removable lithium-ion battery. It has a small screen, a touch-sensitive interface, and can connect wirelessly to your headphones. This device is the epitome of 2026 tech: compact, feature-rich, and designed to seamlessly integrate into a digital ecosystem. Now, for the gauntlet. We've designed 5 distinct tests to push each device to its breaking point. First up is the Battery Life Marathon, where we'll play the same 60-minute album on a loop at a standardized volume until the music stops. Our first test was the Battery Marathon, a fresh set of high-quality AA batteries for the Walkman, a 100% full charge for the Bluetooth player. We set both to play the same 60-minute album on repeat at an identical, comfortable listening volume. The modern player, with all its wireless chips and its bright little screen, started strong. But as the hours ticked by, its tiny lithium-ion battery began to fade. It finally gave up the ghost and went silent at exactly 8 hours and 12 minutes. Not bad for its size, but not exactly a champion. Then, we turned our attention to the Walkman. It just kept going, and going, and going. The simple mechanics of spinning a tape and powering a basic amplifier are incredibly efficient. We checked on it throughout the day, and it was still faithfully playing. It wasn't until well into the next morning that the music finally slowed to a distorted crawl, officially ending its run at an astonishing 20 hours and 45 minutes. The Walkman absolutely crushed the modern player, lasting more than twice as long. The clear winner of the battery test is the Walkman, by a massive margin. Next up was the test that everyone fears, the drop test. We took each device, held it at waist height, a standard 3 feet, and let it fall onto a hard concrete surface. The Walkman went first. It hit the ground with a loud, plasticky clatter. We picked it up, expecting the worst, but after a quick inspection, we saw only a minor scuff on the corner. We pressed play, and the music started right back up without a single issue. The bulky plastic casing and simple internal mechanics absorbed the impact beautifully. It was a testament to its rugged, no-nonsense design. Then, it was the modern player's turn. Being so much lighter, it made a much quieter sound when it hit the ground. But the result was catastrophic. We picked it up and immediately saw that the small glass screen had spiderwebbed with cracks. Worse, the device was completely dead. It wouldn't turn on, it wouldn't respond to charging, nothing. The impact, while seemingly minor, had clearly damaged a critical internal component, rendering the entire device a paperweight. The drop test was a decisive and brutal victory for the Walkman. The Bluetooth player was officially the first to die in our shock test. Even though our Bluetooth player was technically out of the competition, we brought in an identical, brand new one to continue the testing for the sake of data. It was time for the water resistance test. We weren't going for full submersion, but a realistic scenario. A sudden splash, like getting caught in an unexpected rain shower. We used a spray bottle to give each device a thorough misting across its casing, focusing on seams, focusing on button areas. We then let them sit for 5 minutes before trying to power them on and check for any internal moisture. The Walkman, with its large gaps and unsealed cassette door, seemed like it would be the most vulnerable. Water definitely got inside the tape compartment. However, after we wiped it down and let it air out for a bit, it powered on and played just fine. The modern player, however, did not fare as well. Despite its seemingly seamless design, water found its way into the USB-C port and the tiny seam around the screen. The device flickered once and then died completely, a victim of a fatal short circuit. Once again, the old tech survived where the new tech failed. Finally, we compared what these devices were actually made for. Sound quality. Using a high-quality pair of wired studio headphones, we listened to the same track on both players. The Bluetooth player, playing a high bitrate digital file, delivered what you'd expect: crystal clear, precise audio. The highs were crisp, the bass was tight, there was zero background noise. It was a technically perfect representation of the music. It's the clean, digital sound that an entire generation has grown up with, and for pure fidelity, it's hard to beat. The Walkman, on the other hand, offered a completely different experience. The sound was noticeably warmer and fuller, with a richer mid-range. There was a faint, ever-present tape hiss in the background and a subtle analog wow and flutter effect, which is a slight pitch variation from the tape mechanism. With the physical tests complete, we moved to the repair bay to assess our final and arguably most important category: repairability. We started with the Walkman. Using a single standard Phillips head screwdriver, we had the back cover off in less than a minute. Inside, the layout was spacious and logical. We could immediately identify the motor, the headphone jack, and the main drive belt. The most common point of failure. A replacement belt for this model costs about $5 online, and swapping it out is a 10-minute job for a novice. It was designed to be serviced. Then we turned to the carcass of the modern Bluetooth player. There were no visible screws. The entire chassis was a sealed unit, held together by strong, adhesive, tiny plastic clips. Getting it open required specialized prying tools, a heat gun to soften the glue, and a lot of patience. Once inside, we were greeted by a nightmare of miniaturization. The battery was glued to the mainboard, which was connected to the screen by a fragile ribbon cable. Replacing the broken screen or the dead battery would be a delicate, frustrating procedure, and the cost of the parts alone would be nearly half the price of a new player. This leads us to the long-term cost of ownership. For the Walkman, maintenance is cheap. A pack of AA batteries costs a few dollars. A replacement drive belt is about $5. Even if a major component like the motor fails, you can often find donor units or replacement parts for under $20. Its entire ecosystem is built on affordability and self-service. The initial investment for a good, serviced Walkman might be around $50 to $100 today, but its running costs are incredibly low over the years, provided you're willing to do a little tinkering. The modern player presents a starkly different financial picture. The initial purchase price might be similar, but its lifespan is finite and predetermined. Once the sealed-in battery inevitably degrades after a few years, you face a difficult choice: pay for an expensive, difficult repair, or simply throw the device away and buy a new one. This is the core of planned obsolescence. The total cost of ownership skyrockets when you have to replace the entire device every 3 to 4 years. So, to answer our initial question, yes, in our tests, the Bluetooth player died first. In fact, it died multiple times. The old-school Walkman was the undisputed champion of durability. It survived the battery marathon, shrugged off a 3-foot drop onto concrete, and powered through a water splash. Its simple mechanical spacious design makes it incredibly resilient and easy to repair. The modern player, while a marvel of convenience and features, proved to be a glass cannon. Its quest for thinness and seamless design made it fragile and essentially disposable. The Walkman wins on longevity, hands down.